Yo, it's Mr. Lee tapping in, man. About to give y'all some information from my new book, Give 'em the Biz, dropping this month on the 24th. Make sure that y'all hit up Amazon or Barnes& and Nobles. You can pre-order it there. Make sure y'all tap in. And I have an audio version coming out too on the 24th that will be on all of the DSPs. So make sure y'all tap in with that. And before I get started, I want to give a shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs on a big win yesterday. The game was dope, man. It was one of the better games that I can remember. It was real exciting, man. So shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs and all my homies from Kansas City, man. Y'all know what it is. So listen, I've tapped in, talked about the budget, talked about business, and I wanted to kind of reiterate on a couple of things that I've been talking about. In this business, in the music business we're talking about, it's always fun when you are in the creative stages of this business. And unfortunately, when you're having fun and you're getting excited about what you're creating and you're starting to believe in what you're doing, you tend to forget about the business aspect of it. And you start to believe in certain things and believe that certain things are going to happen when you release this music, and people may go crazy, or you may look like the realest person alive if you got this certain person on the record and all this kind of stuff. Everybody has all these admirations about, man, when I put this out, everybody gonna go crazy when they hear this music, whatever. And it can be true. But however, if you do not set up your situation with the business in front, and you're not building business relationships with people that are going to get your music where it needs to be heard, it's not going to get heard. It's easy to sign up to a DSP, put your music out there, get on your Instagram pages, get on all of your social media pages, and post this stuff and get good comments about it and all of that kind of stuff. That's cool. But if you don't have the relationships in place to get this music to the masses, it's a frivolous attempt. And sometimes we wonder, we hear a song and it's whack as hell and it's just playing 100 million times over and over and over and over and over and over. The reason that is happening is because that individual has made the right business moves to get their music where it needs to be heard. That's why it's such a thing called programming. You program a person with something long enough, they'll start liking it. That's a fact. But if you do not put yourself in a position to win, and you basing your predictions on how good you think your music is, then you are already setting up to lose. Because the most solid thing I can tell you is this: we could be in the studio creating a record and we could feel like it's the most phenomenal thing ever created. But if the regular 9-to-5 person don't feel that music or don't feel some type of attachment to it, it's not a hit. If we could go in the studio and do a record and just automatically make a hit, then everybody can make a hit. That's the rationality of this business. And in this business, you spend a lot of money with people, and a lot of people gas you up and tell you you're the best thing ever created that ever created music. And they can give you these opinions and make you feel good about yourself and about your project. But if there's no business plan to launch this music, then nobody's going to hear it anyway. If there's no relationships with the people that actually make these things happen, it's not going to work anyway. And that's just a fact. Until you have a certain database of people that follow you consistently, then you really are not winning. I had an interesting conversation with Willie D yesterday, and we were talking about the difference between monthly listeners and subscribers. The difference between monthly listeners and subscribers. Subscribers are the people that are going to tap in with you every single time. A monthly listener is a guy that's going to come through when some shit is hot and listen to it and, stay around long as it's hot. So we have to understand and know how to monetize and what's monetizing for us too. But we just cannot base business on a feeling good about a certain track. Because anybody in any given day and time can hear something that make them feel good at that point in their lives or in whatever situation they're going through. And that's a fact too, and that's true. But if you are just locked in on the creative side of your music, then you are leaving yourself at a real high risk of losing. Because there's no plan, there's no business plan, there's no setup to facilitate your music so people can hear it, to make you visible so people can see you and know who you are. That's a big issue, and that's a problem. So make sure when you're getting in this business and you creating and you're doing all of this stuff that you're doing, make sure you have a team around you, or make sure that you are aware that after the creating process is over, you still have to understand the business and make business moves. Shooting a bunch of videos, recording a bunch of songs, having the dopest artwork, having the dopest outfits for your photo shoot and all of this kind of stuff, that's the small part. The biggest part is getting the record set up so people can hear it. The biggest part is setting up your business plan so that you can make your money back. Without those essential things, you're not doing any business. You're really just have an expensive hobby is what it is. Popularity and being friends with people in this business do not give you checks. Doing the work, knowing what type of business that you're doing, and having proper business plans is what gets you paid. Even me being in this business almost 30 years, I am still learning certain things and mistakes that I am continuously to make because I am not horned in completely on what my business is and what my purpose of my business is when I do work with people. Sometimes I get in and I start doing work with people and I'm personal about it because I have a personal attachment to it. And that does nobody any good when business is not being conducted and money is not being made. This business is a business where you can get into a high deficit at a snap of a finger because you're enjoying the process. It's fun and make you feel good. But once all of that wears off and it's time to figure out how to make the money, then you lose steam because you have no idea how you're going to make your money back. And that right there can destroy a bunch of careers that probably could have been huge if they just knew that. You know what I mean? So we hear stories all the time about people signing contracts, losing their publishing, not getting paid this, not getting paid that, because they weren't on top of the business. They were excited about being somebody and being into the industry and creating and all this and that, and that's fine. But if you do not retain the knowledge in the process to make the money, then you're going to fail. All right? Remember, my book, Em The Biz, is coming out this month on the 24th. All platforms I will have the audiobook. It's coming out on the 24th as well. If you need an autographed copy of my book, tap in with me on my DM and I will respond and we can get that sent to you, all right? Y'all have a good day, man. It's Mr. Lee. I'm out. 100.